Proverbs chapter 15. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise commends knowledge, but the mouth of fools gush folly. Yahweh's eyes are everywhere, keeping watch on the evil and the good. A gentle tongue is a tree of life, but deceit in it crushes the spirit. A fool despises his father's correction, but he who heeds reproof shows prudence. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but the income of the wicked brings trouble. The lips of the wise spread knowledge, not so with the heart of fools. The sacrifice made by the wicked is an abomination to Yahweh, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. The way of the wicked is an abomination to Yahweh, but he loves him who follows after righteousness. There is stern discipline for one who forsakes the way. Whoever hates reproof shall die. Sheol and Abaddon are before Yahweh. How much more then the hearts of the children of men? A scoffer does not love to be reproved. He will not go to the wise. A glad heart makes a cheerful face, but an aching heart breaks the spirit. The heart of one who has understanding seeks knowledge, but the mouths of fools feed on folly. All the days of the afflicted are wretched, but one who has a cheerful heart enjoys a continual feast. Better is little with the fear of Yahweh than great treasure with trouble. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a fattened calf with hatred. A wrathful man stirs up contention, but one who is slow to anger appeases strife. The way of the sluggard is like a thorn patch, but the path of the upright is a highway. A wise son makes a father glad, but a foolish man despises his mother. Folly is joy to one who is void of wisdom, but a man of understanding keeps his way straight. Where there is no counsel, plans fail, but in a multitude of counselors they are established. Joy comes to the man with the reply of his mouth. How good is a word at the right time. The path of life leads upward for the wise, to him from going downward to Sheol. Yahweh will uproot the house of the proud, but he will keep the widow's borders intact. Yahweh detests the thought of the wicked, but the thoughts of the pure are pleasing. He who is greedy for gain troubles his own house, but he who hates bribes will live. The heart of the righteous weighs answers, but the mouth of the wicked gushes out evil. Yahweh is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. The light of the eyes rejoices the heart. Good news gives health to the bones. The ear that listens to reproof lives, and he will be at home among the wise. He who refuses correction despises his own soul, but he who listens to reproof gets understanding. The fear of Yahweh teaches wisdom. Before honor is humility. Another 32 wonderful Proverbs in chapter 15, and I'm just going to give you some thoughts on 4 of them. The very first one in this verse, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Now, I thought pretty much my entire life that this proverb meant that when someone is cranky and angry with you, just speak back gently to them, and I thought gently meant quietly. But turns out that that's not the case, because you can speak back quietly to someone and they still be angry with you, still be full of wrath, because turns out a gentle reply isn't about the volume you use, it's about the type of thing you say. So if someone calls you, a terrible idiot and calls you all these names and they're angry and you yell at them, you could just as easily say back to them very calmly, well, you're an idiot too. And because you spoke it gently, it's not going to calm them down at all. It's going to infuriate them even more. And in fact, sometimes the quiet response, but with the terrible words, makes it even worse. No, a gentle answer is not an answer spoken quietly. It's an answer where the words themselves are gentle. So if someone could call you all sorts of nasty things, and you could say, I'm really sorry that's how you think or how you feel, and you could apologize for something if you've done something wrong, or you could sympathize with their feelings, or you could very gently say, oh, that's not how I saw it at all. So you can say kind and gentle things back, even if you don't say them with quietness, you can still say them with gentleness. So that's an interesting thought for you. Verse 8 says, the sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to Yahweh, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. You remember in the start of the Bible in Genesis 3 or 4, chapter 4 maybe, we've got the Cain and Abel story. God accepted Abel's sacrifice and did not accept Cain's sacrifice. It never said why. Well, here we have it. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to God. God would not accept Cain's sacrifice because he was offering it with wicked intentions. So he was not pure-hearted, and therefore his sacrifice was rejected. People bring gifts and sacrifices to God all the time, but the reason why you do it is your motivation. We saw in the news recently that someone had been in a shopping centre and they had seen this woman just sitting there all slumped over, and they had gone up to her and given her a few dollars, and her face brightened up and she was, oh, thank you so much, and she took it. Well, they had secretly filmed that, put it on TikTok or somewhere, and the way they explained the video was, here we are helping the poor, and they were doing it all to get TikTok views, to basically get, a video that went viral and got a lot of attention. But the truth is that later on that woman saw her video on TikTok and she was appalled because the things they were saying about her was not a true reflection of the situation. So they did something that looked externally to many people as a good thing, but was a wicked thing. They were doing it for wrong reasons. They were taking advantage of someone for their own benefit. The motivation was wrong. And sometimes people give sacrifices to God for the wrong reasons. They want to get attention. They want people to like them. Or they think they can buy something from God. They're trying to get God's favor. They're not doing it because they love God, because it's sincere, but for other reasons. But the prayer of the upright is his delight. Verse 17, better a dinner of herbs where love is than a fattened calf with hatred. Sometimes you see these young couples that are so in love and, they go for marriage counselling, and one of the questions is, well, how are you going to live? You both are poor students, you don't have much money. And they always say things like, that doesn't matter. We love each other. We'll be happy to live on noodles. So that's the point. You can have a young couple that live on noodles because they can't afford much else, but they're happy. So where the circumstances are correct, it doesn't matter if you don't have much, but you can have a lot. You can be the world's wealthiest people and be full of anger and strife. What a difference it makes to have the love of Christ in the midst. Verse 19, the way of the sluggard is like a thorn patch, but the path of the upright a highway. What do thorn patches do? They slow you down. We were visiting my great-grandmother years ago, and we'd taken my children to see their great-great-grandmother, the only time they've ever seen her, because she died not long after that. And where she was staying at the aged care facility, there was a lawn outside, this beautiful green lawn. And my wife said to the kids, let's have a race first to the other side. And all of the kids started running, but they were all wearing thongs, which in Australia is, we call them thongs in Australia. In America, they call them flip-flops. And I know that's a whole discussion of its own. The kids throw off their flip-flops, start running across the lawn ran into a prickle patch, and the race to the other side came to an end. Well, this proverb says the way of the sluggard, a lazy human that doesn't feel motivated, that doesn't feel like making an effort, their way is like a prickle patch. You're just not going to get there. That's how it is. And we all struggle at times with low motivation. It's something to pray through. There's usually a reason why people have low motivation. It's definitely something that you need to throw off because it will hinder and ruin your life. That's why it's here in the Proverbs. Lord, I thank you for the Proverbs that we've read today, and I thank you for these 4 that we've highlighted. And I ask for grace to be at work in us. Lord, my prayer would be today that we would learn how to give gentle answers, and we would also learn how to be people that are highly motivated, full of love, willing to serve you and serve others. Let your grace be upon us for these things. Amen.